All right, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into what is easily one of the most dramatically compelling and, frankly, agonizingly painful arcs in all of anime. We're going to completely deconstruct a figure who, well, he's been deeply misunderstood by literally everyone around him, Itachi Uchiha.
For the longest time, right, the narrative was super simple. Itachi was just a cold-blooded monster, a totally ruthless criminal who wiped out his entire clan just to see if he could. But what if that whole story was just a lie? What if history's greatest villain was actually its most tragic hero, carrying this absolutely unimaginable burden in total silence?
Section 1. The Innocent Prodigy. A childhood stolen by war.
To really understand the man, we've got to start with the boy, because this feared criminal, he actually started out as a brilliant, incredibly sensitive kid who absolutely despised violence. At just 4 years old, Itachi witnessed the sheer devastating horrors of the Third Great Ninja War. I mean, think about that for a second. 4 years old. Imagine seeing endless casualties and destroyed lives at an age when most kids are just figuring out how to play. It completely shattered his innocence. He hits Chunin rank and awakens his Sharingan by age 10, totally driven by this one desperate goal. Get strong enough to make sure this kind of tragedy never happens again. But tragedy was already catching up to him.
Section 2. An Impossible Choice. The Weight of the Village.
So, after the devastating Nine-Tails Fox attack, the Hidden Leaf village leaders got extremely paranoid. They deeply distrusted the Uchiha clan. The Uchiha were unfairly marginalized, literally pushed to the outskirts of the village. And the clan, understandably furious and feeling like their honor was stolen, started secretly planning a coup to overthrow the leadership. Now, because of his insane skill and wisdom, Itachi gets thrust into this incredibly suffocating position. He becomes a double agent. His dad trusts him with the secret coup plans, while the village elders are actively ordering him to spy on his own family. He's totally trapped between this agonizingly deep love for his family and a desperate need to stop a civil war that would weaken the village and invite outside nations to attack.
Then, the village elder Danzo hits Itachi with a sickening ultimatum. Side A, you let the coup happen, civil war breaks out, thousands die, and that includes his beloved little brother Sasuke. Or Side B, you eliminate your own clan before the rebellion even starts, and in exchange, Sasuke's life is spared. There is no good option here. It's an absolutely agonizing, practically impossible choice to force onto anyone's shoulders.
Section 3. The Night of Sacrifice. A burden born in blood.
With a heart just heavier than any of us could ever imagine, Itachi chose the village. He chose his brother. Teaming up with Obito, he carried out the massacre in a single night to stop the civil war. But, and this is the part that just ruins you, when he goes into his parents' home to execute them, they don't fight back. They offer absolutely no resistance. Instead, his father Fugaku and mother Mikoto just tell him, "We are proud of you. Take care of Sasuke." The pure heartbreak of a son, literally with tears in his eyes, having to strike down parents who are offering nothing but love and understanding, it is completely devastating.
But the painful irony doesn't stop there, because to guarantee Sasuke actually survives, Itachi couldn't just leave him in peace. No, he had to purposefully traumatize him. He manipulates Sasuke into believing he murdered everyone just to test his own strength. He literally tells his little brother to hate him and grow stronger. Basically, to save the one person he loved most in the world, Itachi had to turn himself into the object of Sasuke's eternal hatred.
Section 4. A Life in Shadows. The Spy Within Akatsuki.
After that horrific night, Itachi goes into exile. He joins the rogue organization Akatsuki, but not as a villain. He's secretly there as a protector, keeping tabs on these incredibly dangerous criminals and feeding intel back to keep the Hidden Leaf safe. And to the rest of the world, he was an unbeatable force wielding this terrifying Manjikyo Sharingan arsenal. We're talking Tsukuyomi, which traps you in a nightmare of endless illusionary torture, Amaterasu, these black flames that literally never go out, and Susanoo, this massive spiritual warrior with an absolute defense and the legendary sealing Tatsuka blade. He and his partner Kasame basically terrified the entire ninja world.
But here's the crazy part. On the outside, Itachi looked like a literal god among ninjas. But the devastating reality? He was silently, agonizingly suffering from a terminal illness. His body was physically breaking down. Yet he forced himself to stay alive, swallowing the pain and enduring immense suffering, for one reason and one reason only: to protect Sasuke's future.
Section 5. The Final Forehead Tap. A Battle of Love and Lies.
When the time finally comes for this massive, long-awaited battle between the brothers, the tension is just off the charts. But remember, while they're throwing these catastrophic attacks and wild delusions at each other, Itachi's true motive is still entirely hidden. It wasn't a fight to the death for Itachi, it was a carefully choreographed performance. Step 1. Push Sasuke to his absolute physical and mental limits to draw out his hidden power. Step 2. Use that exact moment of exhaustion to completely rip Orochimaru's curse mark out of Sasuke, freeing him once and for all. And Step 3. Instead of delivering a killing blow, Itachi stumbles up to a terrified Sasuke and just taps his forehead. That same gentle, affectionate gesture he used when they were little kids. He smiles softly, collapses, and dies right there in front of his brother.
The monster was actually a selfless protector this whole time. And when Obito finally drops this truth bomb on Sasuke, the fallout is devastating. Just imagine realizing that your entire lifelong purpose, the literal hatred that fueled you getting out of bed every morning, was a lie specifically designed to keep you safe. Sasuke's entire world just shatters into this agonizing grief and a burning, furious rage directed straight at the village leaders who forced his brother into that living nightmare.
Section 6. The True Hero Revealed. The Final Goodbye.
Later on, during the Fourth Great Ninja War, Itachi is actually brought back to life as an undead warrior via Kabuto's reanimation jutsu. But, being Itachi, he totally breaks free of the mind control, proving his will to protect is stronger than literally death itself. Teaming up with Sasuke one last time, he pulls out the Izanami technique. He traps Kabuto in an endless time loop inside his own mind until Kabuto accepts his true self. And by doing that, Itachi shuts down the entire reanimation jutsu, silently saving the whole ninja world one last time. As the jutsu fades and Itachi starts to disappear forever, he finally drops the act. He stops lying. He looks at his brother and actually admits his mistakes. He admits he should have just trusted Sasuke instead of trying to carry the weight of the world completely alone. He apologizes for using hatred to manipulate him. And then, he delivers this line. No matter what choices you make, I will always love you. It is such a profoundly painful yet gorgeous admission of unconditional love as he finally fades away.
So I want to leave you with this final kind of provocative thought. Is true heroism found in silence? Because Itachi Uchiha sacrificed his entire family, absorbed the world's endless hatred, completely tanked his own reputation, and died a really agonizing death, all without ever asking for a single drop of recognition. He literally lived and died in the absolute darkest shadows just to protect the light. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Until next time, keep looking deeper.